Let's turn to Rivers, where a faction of the State House of Assembly led by Victor Ojienoh has condemned the resolution by the Martin Amaewhule-led House barring Governor Siminalayi Fubara from spending public funds a week after they asked the governor to resubmit the 2024 budget. The lawmakers took the decision after the 7-day ultimatum they gave to him to represent his budget expired, declaring the shutdown of the Rivers State Consolidated Revenue Account and prohibiting any expenditure by the Fubara administration. In his opening remark during plenary on Tuesday, Factional Speaker Victor Ojienoh described the move by Amaewhule and the 24 other lawmakers as unfounded and without validity, arguing that the group had no legal capacity or moral basis to bar the governor from spending public funds following their defection from the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the All Progressives Congress (APC) in December 2023. Ojienoh further explained that Governor Fubara had duly presented the said appropriation bill to the House when Edison Ehie was the Speaker, and that same was passed and signed into law. He urged the public to ignore the Amaewhule pronouncement and called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to, without delay, conduct the by-election to fill the 25 vacant seats in the House. Well, let's dive into discussions on this development. Legal expert Justice Ojienoh joins me on the news. Thank you very much for sparing time, Justice. Now, does this move by the Amaewhule-led Assembly in Rivers suspending all expenditures of Governor Siminalayi Fubara until he represents his budget before the House lack any legal basis or legitimacy like the other faction says?
Okay, to a large extent, I think yes, and it's mathematical. I would say yes and a no in order to be a bit more measured. There are two judgments now that are of real consequence. The judgment of the Court of Appeal on the 4th of July of this year. And the judgment of the Court of Appeal actually said that status quo ante bellum should be maintained. And what that means is, despite the fact that a lot of, including legal practitioners, have been trying to turn that argument on its head, what it means is the fact is the state of peace. Who was in power the last time the state of peace was in place before controversy came up? And the answer to that is Amaewhule. And without wanting to really argue a lot, I will refer people to the decision of the court. In fact, the pronouncement of Justice Abraham Judgewill in Garba and GTB, where he also relied on the decision of the court in Ministry of Military Governor of Lagos State against Ojukwu, the popular, very, very popular case. So what that means is that the budget that was presented before Edison here is null and void because the Court of Appeal decision recognizes Amaewhule as at the 4th of July of this year. But on the 5th of July of this year, a Rivers State High Court judge, I think Justice Jumbo, which is a day after that decision of the Court of Appeal, said that the Edison Amaewhule should and his cohorts, 24 other persons, should stop parading themselves as the members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. So you see the yes there and the no there. In all of this, I think that as much as possible, these two elephants who are needlessly fighting and the people needlessly suffering, we should look for a way to nip it in the bud. Okay,
so let's go back to those two conflicting judgments on the removal of Martin Amaewhule and the 24 other lawmakers as members of the Rivers State House of Assembly as ordered by the State High Court in Port Harcourt. Now the pro-Fubara faction insists otherwise. Now, which ruling holds more authority here?
Okay, the challenge is there was an earlier ruling of the courts, and that was the one that was overturned by the Court of Appeal. So as at 4th of July, having said that everybody should go back to status quo, it meant that Amaewhule was Speaker and could do anything, including impeaching the Governor Fubara. And because of the apprehension on ground, I don't want to go into speculations as to how 24 hours later, another judgment was procured from the State High Court. So what that means is that as at the 4th of July, there was no judgment because the Court of Appeal has said go back to status quo. So everything is gone back to ground zero. So as at 5th of July now, I think that it is the judgment of the 5th of July, even though it is not, it doesn't appear to be too transparent, because sometimes we say that what is the reasonable man's perception of what the situation was. On 4th of July, the Court of Appeal decided that everybody go back to status quo, and less than 24 hours later, you've gotten another judgment. Unfortunately, the judgment that is subsisting now is the judgment of the 5th of July, because the judgment of the 5th of July does not actually conflict with the judgment of the 4th of July, the judgment of the Court of Appeal, because the Court of Appeal didn't go into the depth of the matter, into the meat of the matter. So as it stands, it is the judgment of the 5th of July that actually says that Martin Omewule and his cohorts cannot go ahead to take any of these actions.
Well, the political crisis in Rivers State keeps heating up every day, and we'll see what comes out of the situation. Legal expert Justice Ojienoh, thank you very much for your insights.